Welcome back to my ninth and final video in this series on bad officiating in the 2016 NCAA Championship game. The first 8 videos in this series provided visual evidence and context with the written rules that many calls were missed in this game. This final video will analyze all these missed calls and calculate a new box score that reflects what the referees missed. Let's get started. Now let's look at the facts pertaining to the officiating or lack thereof in the game. First of all, the previous 8 videos showed that 22 missed calls happened, 19 of which had an actual impact on the box score. It's also important to know that of the 19 box score changing missed calls, 17 favored Villanova and only 2 favored UNC. If we only look at missed fouls, so this would exclude missed travels, here's the breakdown of these missed fouls and how they would change the foul totals of the game. I find this chart to be the most interesting, especially when compared to the first chart. In the first half, there were 9 missed calls, including travels, yet both teams only combined for 13 fouls, resulting in a 41 missed call rate. If those blown calls get adjusted into the actual box score, we see UNC with 6 fouls and Villanova with 12 fouls. In the second half, there are 13 missed calls, including travels, but this time the two teams combined for 23 fouls, resulting in a 36% missed call rate. If these blown calls get adjusted in the actual box score, we see UNC with 10 fouls and Villanova with 20. Yes, this is an astounding number, but let's put it into perspective. Villanova was playing a more aggressive defense in the first half with full court pressing and only amount 5 fouls. Yet in the second half, they back off from their pressure and accumulate more than double that amount with 11 fouls. Since the missed call rate stays in the same range and the foul counts for both teams increases, maybe these astounding numbers are the result of changes in strategies by both teams as well as second half fatigue. If you think 20 fouls for either team in this game is too extreme, I want you to see one more detail. Here is the pattern of consecutive foul calls for both halves. In the first half, Nova gets 3 straight, then UNC gets 8 straight, and then Nova gets the final 2. 8 straight fouls on any team, especially one in the national championship game, is already extreme, so I wouldn't count out 20 fouls on one team either. The second half shows the same bunching pattern of consecutive fouls, with each team hitting a streak of 4 consecutive fouls. It's safe to say that not only was it a badly officiated game, it was a weirdly officiated game too. Here's the consolidated score sheet for the previous 8 videos. Each data point consists of a time designation, the half and the time remaining, and a point impact on the game from the perspective of Villanova, meaning positive points are in favor of Villanova and negative points are in favor of UNC. If we take all of the values and add them up, we are looking at a plus 16.19 points in favor of Villanova on a 17-2 missed call advantage in their favor. To put this in perspective, 48 out of 63 NCAA tournament games in 2016 would have changed winners, one of which would be North Carolina's 16-point win over 16-seed Florida Gulf Coast. If officiating favored Florida Gulf Coast like they favored Villanova, we would have had our very first 16-seed toppling a 1-seed. Changing the winners for 48 out of 63 games, which is just over 76% of the total games played, is statistically significant enough to guarantee 100% that no one will ever predict a perfect bracket. That is the impact of officiating on our games. Thanks for watching this series, and I hope I don't have to do this for the 2017 offseason.